Did you know that the story of Abram rescuing Lot is set against the backdrop of a massive war involving 9 kings? Yes, in the ancient world, when kings were the ultimate authorities, a major conflict was brewing in the valley of Siddim. This valley, rich in resources and strategically located, was a bone of contention amongst these kings. Among them were 4 kings, led by the mighty Chedorlaomer, who were at loggerheads with 5 other kings, including the rulers of Sodom and Gomorrah. These 5 kings had been subjected to Chedorlaomer for 12 long years, serving him and paying tribute. But in the 13th year, they decided they had had enough. The winds of rebellion began to blow across the valley. The kings of Sodom and Gomorrah, along with their allies, decided to break free from Chedorlaomer's reign. This marked the beginning of a great conflict, a war that would shake the valley and affect the lives of many, including our main characters, Abram and Lot. Now you might wonder, how did Abram and Lot fit into this picture? Well, Lot, who was Abram's nephew, was living in Sodom at the time. As you can imagine, living in a city on the brink of war was far from peaceful. And so, as the rebellion in the valley of Siddim escalated into a full-blown war, Abram found himself drawn into the conflict, not by choice but by a sense of duty and love for his family. This was the beginning of an adventure that would test Abram's courage, his faith, and his strategic skills. In the midst of this chaos, we find our main characters, Abram and his nephew Lot. As we delve deeper into this dramatic tale, we'll discover how Abram, with a small army, took on kings and emerged victorious. But that's a story for another scene. For now, let's marvel at the stage that's been set. A valley, 9 kings, and a brewing storm of conflict. When Abram heard that his nephew Lot had been captured, he didn't hesitate to act. In a world where family ties meant everything, Abram's loyalty to his kin was unflinching. The news of Lot's capture must have struck like a thunderbolt, but Abram was not one to be paralyzed by fear or uncertainty. Instead, he took immediate action. Abram was a man of means, a shepherd and a chieftain. He had a large household, a testament to his standing in the community, but he was also a man of faith. A man who believed in a power greater than himself. And it was this faith that spurred him on, that gave him the courage to face the daunting task ahead. In his household were 318 trained men who were born and raised under his roof, men who looked up to him as a leader, a mentor, a father figure. These were not mere servants but a private army ready to march at Abram's command. So, when the call to arms came, they didn't hesitate. They rallied around their leader, ready to risk their lives to rescue one of their own. And so, Abram, with his band of dedicated men, prepared to embark on a daring mission. A mission to penetrate enemy lines, a mission to rescue Lot from the clutches of the enemy, a mission that could very well cost them their lives. But Abram was undeterred. He knew the risks, he understood the stakes, but he also knew that he could not stand by and do nothing while his nephew was in danger. His decision was clear, his resolve unshakable. It was a testament to Abram's character, to his courage, to his commitment to those he considered family. He was ready to face whatever lay ahead, ready to fight, ready to rescue Lot, ready to prove that in a world of kings and wars, family and faith were his true strength. With his men by his side, Abram was ready to embark on a daring rescue mission. Abram wasn't just going to sit back and let his nephew suffer. With a resolve as unyielding as the desert sun, he marshaled his forces, men born and trained in his own household. 318 in total, all ready to risk their lives in a daring rescue mission. Under the cloak of the moonless night, Abram and his men pursued the captors. They trailed them all the way to Dan, a place far north of their home. But distance and danger did little to deter Abram. He divided his forces, strategizing for a surprise attack. The night air was soon filled with the clash of swords and the cries of battle. Despite the odds, Abram's tactical prowess prevailed. His men struck down the enemy, scattering them like desert sand before a gust of wind. Lot was rescued, unharmed, and all the seized goods were recovered. The victory was nothing short of miraculous, a testament to Abram's courage and strategic acumen. But the story doesn't end there. Victorious and laden with goods, Abram had a divine encounter waiting for him. As he journeyed back, he met Melchizedek, the king of Salem. This wasn't just any king though. Melchizedek was also a priest of God Most High. He came bearing gifts of bread and wine, symbols of sustenance and celebration. This meeting between Abram and Melchizedek was a significant one. It was a meeting between 2 men of faith, both serving God in their own ways. Melchizedek recognized Abram's victory as a divine act, a blessing from God Most High. It set the stage for the next part of Abram's journey, one that would lead him to a deeper understanding of faith and sacrifice. But that's a story for another time. Who was Melchizedek and why was his blessing so significant, you might ask? Well, Melchizedek was a figure shrouded in mystery, a king and a priest of God Most High, known for his wisdom and righteousness. He ruled over Salem, a place of peace. His name interestingly translates to King of Righteousness, and his city, Salem, means peace. After Abram's daring rescue mission and his victory over the four kings, he encountered this intriguing figure. Melchizedek, recognizing the divine hand in Abram's triumph, came forward to bless him. He brought out bread and wine, symbolizing sustenance and joy, and blessed Abram in the name of God Most High, the possessor of heaven and earth. This blessing was not just an acknowledgement of Abram's victory, but also a divine affirmation of his mission. In return, Abram gave Melchizedek a tenth of everything he had recovered. This was no small gesture. By giving a tenth or a tithe, Abram acknowledged Melchizedek's high position and honored him. This was one of the earliest recorded instances of tithing, a practice that would later become a cornerstone of many religious traditions. This exchange between Abram and Melchizedek was more than just a meeting between two powerful men. It was a spiritual encounter, a moment of divine recognition and blessing. Abram, the warrior, met Melchizedek, the priest king, and in their meeting we see a blending of might and righteousness, of action and faith. Blessed and grateful, Abram had one more encounter before his journey could end. As we'll see in the next scene, this encounter with the king of Sodom would test Abram's integrity and faith, showing us yet another facet of this remarkable man's character. But that's a tale for another time. For now, let's marvel at the mystery and wisdom of Melchizedek and the faith and gratitude of Abram. The king of Sodom, seeing Abram's success, had an offer to make. After the dust of battle had settled, the king approached Abram. He was a man accustomed to holding power, but in this instance, he was dealing with a force beyond his control. A man who had proven his mettle on the battlefield and gained the favor of the divine. The king, in an attempt to forge an alliance, proposed a deal. "Give me the persons and take the goods for yourself," he said, offering Abram all the spoils of the war. It was a tempting offer, one that would have made Abram incredibly wealthy. But Abram was not a man swayed by material possessions. His wealth lay in his faith and commitment to God. Abram responded with firm conviction, "I have sworn to the Lord, God Most High, maker of heaven and earth, that I would not take a thread or a sandal thong or anything that is yours, so that you might not say, I have made Abram rich." It was a bold statement, a rejection of earthly wealth in favor of spiritual riches. Abram wanted no part in the king's possessions, ensuring that God alone would receive the glory for his prosperity. This interaction between Abram and the king of Sodom reveals Abram's unwavering faith and integrity. It highlights his commitment to God above all else, even in the face of great temptation. Abram's refusal of the king's reward was not just about material wealth. It was a declaration of his faith, a testament to his devotion to God. In refusing the king's reward, Abram showed his faith and commitment to God, ending his rescue mission on a high note.